Hey everyone, Pastor Patrick Walker. I had a great devotional thought this morning, not particularly tied to any one scripture, but Ephesians chapter 1, verse 5 talks about how we've been predestined to sonship. And I was thinking about identity, sonship, value, and even security or insecurity. So I think as an athlete my whole life, I want to take an analogy of a sports team. I think when our identity is primarily based upon our performance or our own efforts, our flesh, then we're going to be very insecure. Because if it depends on our performance, then that's constantly up and down. And if we think God thinks of us based upon how we act or don't act, or when we mess up or don't mess up, we're going to be very insecure. So if our identity is based on anything in this world, our performance, results, our actions, if it's based on us, high level of insecurity in those individuals. And I think that is representative of a majority of people, even a majority of people in the church today. So that's something we have to struggle with. Now, here's the analogy, and this is kind of the insight the Lord gave me. So team sport, let's just take soccer, for example. We've been adopted. We've been included in the family of God. The family is like the team. Now, here's the amazing thing. We didn't deserve to be brought on the team, but we were selected even though our performance wasn't up to par. So the Father brings us on, and once we're on the team, Jesus does all the work. Like, he is the best soccer player ever. He can cover the entire field. He scores all the goals. So we are able to stand on the winner's podium because of all the activity, the effort, and the success of Jesus. So because we're part of the family, our identity as champions, as conquerors, our value, the way the Father thinks of us is solely based upon the fact that we are on the winning team, not based on our performance, but on the performance of Jesus, who is essentially 100%, like he does 100% of the work. We're just out there running up and down the field. It's like Jesus is doing all the dribbling. He's doing all the shooting. Or I tell you what, we pass back and forth with Jesus, but it's all up to him. So our worth, our identity comes from, our value comes completely and entirely based upon what Jesus has accomplished and the fact that we are members of the winning team, but he is the star player. He gets all the credit. We're standing up there. We haven't scored a single goal. We haven't blocked a single shot. It's Jesus who's done all the work, and we get to enjoy the fruits of the work that he has performed, that he has done. And the love of the Father, the value that we receive, our identity is based upon being a team member, not based upon our performance and the things we've accomplished out on the field. So if it's all up to you, you're going to have a very insecure mentality, very insecure identity. But if it is based upon the fact that we are part of the team of which Christ is the star player, and he gets the glory and he does the work, then our value and our identity are not based upon performance, but based upon association as family members. And what one family member accomplishes, it's like investing in the stock market. If one family member does it, and it's successful, it benefits the entire family. So it's like Jesus is the success, and our identification with him in faith as part of the family of God also allows his success to be attributed to us. And the value, the way that the Father looks at Jesus is the way the Father looks at us, because we're part of the team. We're one in his eyes, even though Jesus is the one that's done most of the work. So I don't know if that would be a benefit for you today, but that's kind of the analogy that I was thinking about of where should our security, where should our identity be attached? Ultimately, it must be attached to the fact that we have been predestined for adoption, Ephesians 1:5, and that Jesus has done all the work, and that we have been brought into the fold of the family of God and find our identity and our worth in Jesus Christ. And what the Father says about Jesus, what the Father thinks about Jesus, has been also applied to us because there's been a merger of our nature with his nature and his characteristics with our characteristics. And we are covered by his righteousness, his blood, and his identity as a son has been attributed to us. So, something for you to think about. I hope this was a blessing. Until next time.